There we go.
Why don't you go outside and play hide and go buff?
Oh, hey! Welcome back to the Whiskey Edition. My name is Rob, and I have a few updates for this long march of marching to various liquor stores and supermarkets and whatnot for some hunting and some finds and some things I absolutely did not need and came across anyway. So let's get started real quick. To start with some wines. Why did I pick up these wines? I have no idea, but I'm having some guests over in a few months and I thought, well, one likes Moscata, so I'll pick up that. And my other friends in the other side of the state, they are Alpha Omega fans, and so I picked up this in honor of them, though this isn't the bottle that they would typically buy because I think it's the lower side. Also in the picking up things I don't need. Crown Royal Blackberry seems to have a big following. I'm not sure why, but I had this. I heard this and lemonade are really good, so I got that. And it even comes with the original bag that Crown Royal is famous for, and I think the Horsey took over. What else did I get at the liquor store when I was there? Their Buffalo Trace store pick. So I picked this up, you know, to support them. And when you buy a barrel, it's what? Anywhere from 250 to 400 or 500 bottles, depending on how they proof it down. So this is a 90 proof, 45%. Now it's gonna look to see if this was higher or lower than typical. It's probably the same because of, you probably have to do a different label, which is probably a challenge when they wanted to get these things out the door. So pick that up. Another supermarket find. I don't know if it's a find or what. And it's not necessarily bourbon or whiskey, which is the Whiskey Edition, but the Corazon George T. Stagg and William LaRue Weller finished Corazon. I haven't had this before. I have had tequila before. It's 100% agave. I've heard that the tequila is really good, and we'll see how it is finished in whiskey barrels, or bourbon barrels as it were. And that's probably as close as I'll ever come to owning George T. Stagg or William LaRue Weller, given my propensity to just buy continuously and having no money. But who wants to buy those on secondary anyway? They're thousands of dollars. I'd rather just run across them. Another thing that I've promoted in the past is similarly to the barrel pick of your local liquor store, is when a supermarket or a liquor store has a rep in the store and they're promoting something and they give you samples and you try it, and if it's okay. I don't know vermouth from one thing or another. I've got some sweet and dry vermouths. This is a Mediterranean vermouth that was being sampled at the supermarket down the street, and I thought, well, I'll pick up one of those for them showing up. So then I have the vermouth for the whiskey, for the well, I don't even know what drink it goes in, but I know it goes in one of them. And now on to more standard whiskey and bourbon fare. Uncle Nearest 1856. This bottle, not this specific bottle, is on the Minnick 100, so we'll be adding that to the list. This bottle, Jack 10, batch 2, is also on Minnick's list. I paid. So because this came, not because of this, this came from the same store as this down the street. You buy this and the bourbon sommelier or whatever is also there and sees you buy stuff. She knows you're a customer. And so then when you can say, hey, I'm really interested in these two that you have on the shelf, but I don't want to pay what you've marked them up to, because it was a lot. This one was a lot, and this one was even more than that. But I said, hey, how about a package deal? These two for whatever out the door, and she does, you can see the wheels in her head turning. She goes, how about we do this much on this one and this much on this one? And that made this one, because you know your price is going into the store, right? Right? I kind of knew. This is, I think this is a 170 MSRP. It's an 18 year, so 10 years, what is that, $10 a year, something like that. So 170, 180. This one is way less than that. This is like a $70 or $80 MSRP. So this one was a little bit over where I've seen it double, and this one was a lot over, more than double. But evened out, it was okay. And our taxes here, outrageous. So these are on Minick's list also. Will they make it into the bracket of 32? Tune into the whiskey edition here soon, and we'll have something going on that. 3 more bottles that, you know, it's one of those opportunities. Went to a very fancy steakhouse in downtown Seattle, and they have their own picks. And so I had the $40 drink of this pick, and I thought, well, and my buddy that I was with, we both thought it was fantastic. And jokingly, I asked the waiter, do you sell this bottle? And he goes, and the lady comes back and she goes, you were inquiring about this? And I said, yes. And she says, basically, how many would you like? So I said, well, how much are they? And it was about 80 bucks. 80 bucks. Single barrel pick. These are a lot more that I found. Single barrel, not the small batch, the single barrel pick of E.H. Taylor. And why I'm emphasizing that is it never hurts to ask, to see if a restaurant, or like the liquor store, they have their pick, restaurants have their picks. If they are set up to do retail sales, as this place was, yes, she could sell it. The advantage to them is this. That is a $40 advantage to me and advantage to them. That's a $40 a drink. I want to say a shot because it's probably a little bit more than 1.5, 2 ounces, maybe not. 40 bucks. 80 bucks for the whole bottle. They have to, after proofing down to, it's bottled and bond, 100 proof. So whatever proof it comes out of the barrel, they proof it down to 100. I looked on the bottle to see if it was higher than that, meaning bottled barrel strength, but it's not. It's bottled and bond, 100 proof. Probably maybe just the label, I don't know. So however many bottles come out of that barrel that they picked, it was divided between 5 or 6 of their restaurants. That's still, even if it was 300 bottles, that's a lot of bottles per, that's like 50 bottles per restaurant. Man, they'd have those forever because their whiskey list was extreme. And so I think they have I don't say, it's not an obligation. I think they are motivated to sell their picks. Outside of that, then they can get another pick. They can't just keep picking and building up all these bottles at all these restaurants. So always ask. The worst thing they can, the least, not the worst, well, I guess it's the worst. They can say no, or they can say, well, we'll put you on a list, and if we have any extra, we'll let you know, that sort of thing. So that came as a bottle pick, and while we're there, I picked up an Eagle Rare 10 with the 10 on it, their pick, and I picked up a Knob Creek pick. And so the Knob Creek pick is a 120 proof, so that's pretty high, but it's proofed, probably proofed down to that. It's it's 9-year, almost 10-year Knob Creek. So again, if they have it as a pick, a restaurant pick, I have seen restaurant picks at stores with their label on it, and I think I've told the story before. I think I've told this story before on the other channel where I called that steakhouse, different steakhouse, and said, hey, what's with your pick being at the supermarket? And he got mad at me, and I'm like, dude, I'm just letting you know the pick is at the supermarket. So I went back and bought it because he was a jerk. But the distributor said, you're never gonna get rid of all these, probably. I mean, you've had 5 on your shelf for however long, and it was during COVID, yet your pick for 1 or 2 places is, you know, several hundred bottles. You're never gonna go through all these. So that's probably my guess is what happened with that. So, no, this was a quick one. I wanted it to be quick, just to you can't see these because it's not panned down, but you can see the tops of them. A few for the Minick 2023 bracket that I'm gonna do in honor of the NCAA brackets. It won't come out that way. I've tried, I can't figure it out. And so we'll do some randomizing and then 2 and 2, and I'll explain all that in that video. Hopefully I'll get to that this weekend because I won't be able to do it for a while. But that's okay. The Minnick list will be there for a while, and then we'll find out who wins the tourney. And if I can wrap, I won't be able to wrap anything on that. But anyway, thanks for watching this real quick whiskey edition segment. And like, share, subscribe. Thank you for stopping by.